Totally predictable. And by the way, he posts on his Twitter X that it was a successful trial. We don't know that. He says that. He says a lot of things don't turn out to be true. But what we're looking at here is the difference, and they both end up in the same place, between full-on AI, AI, yeah, great AI, do this, do that, take the world over, all that stuff, and what I'll call soft AI or soft technocracy. So what is that? The first one is just pushing artificial intelligence blatantly, openly, because that's the cult agenda for the entirety of humanity and human society, and indeed human thought and emotion, to be controlled by artificial intelligence via connections through the brain. So that's one side of it. But there's a lot of people, understandably, not least in what we call the alternative media, who don't want that and can see the blatant, obvious control nature of what that system would do. So you have to bring them along. And then you have people like Elon Musk and others, this Sam Altman's another one, his mate, who call for regulation. And in Elon Musk's case, he says, AI could be the end of humanity, and then goes on rolling out more and more AI. But the soft AI approach is, in Musk's words, that AI taking over is inevitable and is unstoppable. And therefore, we have to respond to that if humanity is not going to be left behind in terms of the intelligence gap. We have to be connected to artificial intelligence so that we can be super smart like the AI. Now, what's the outcome of both the full-on, it's great, this is what's going to happen, and, we're not sure, it's a bit worrying, but it's inevitable. What's the outcome of both of them? Microchip people, AI-controlled people. And so what you're seeing with the Musk PSYOP, and that's what it is trying to, and it's successful with staggering numbers, trying to pull along people that would normally push back against this and draw them in as well. And I have seen this week, in response to this, some members of the so-called, in often their cases, alternative media, who have not pushed back against this and not exposed it in the way that it should be, and would have happened had Musk not have been handed Twitter X, where instead of saying, here we go, which they would have done before he took Twitter over, here we go, this is just a stepping stone to microchip people. We can see what's happening here. Instead, you've got, it could be good for people who are seriously injured, and if they can do technology with their mind, it would help them. But as long as it, doesn't go too far. And the point is that many, many years ago, I said that one of the ways they're going to justify foot in the door, thin end of the wedge, the rolling out of AI-controlled attached people is, first of all, to say what a great thing it would be for people who have injuries that mean they can't use their limbs. And I said it would also be pushed on the basis of, well, if you chipped Alzheimer's patients and you chipped people with dementia in general, then, you'd always know where they were. And children, I mean, it would be an end to lost children. And of course, we've already got chipped animals and chipped dogs. These are all stepping stones towards where it's planned to go. And what has been announced this week in terms of Neuralink is another stepping stone. The point is, though, that Musk's Neuralink technology is so far back off the cutting edge, it's laughable. The idea that you would have to cut open the skull and put probes in it's meant to be done through nanotechnology. Yep. And I found a clip of Elon Musk when I was writing The Dream, in which he was questioned on this in an interview. Well, people, when they want a piece of their skull taken away, are they? And he said, oh, well, you don't necessarily have to do it like that. You can put it in through the veins. So in many ways, what's happening with this Neuralink is a kind of diversion, because it's not the cutting edge, and it's not going to end up the way it appears to be at the moment. And the other thing about Musk, and this is basically his big role in the cult agenda, it's to sell concepts. Yep. So through Tesla, he's selling and promoting the concept of electrical autonomous vehicles. With Neuralink, he's selling the concept of implanted people connected to artificial intelligence and being able to interact with technology. And through SpaceX, which is basically a NASA Pentagon operation, where they get massive funding from, he's selling the idea of low-orbit satellites firing 5G, 6G, 7G to come at eventually every inch of the planet. And that's the creating the so-called cloud to which the technology, the implants, are supposed to be connected to, so that we become this hive mind. And it's, sad for me to see an alternative media. Not everybody, the real alternative people, and there are lots of them, can see it. But what I call the mainstream alternative media, for them not to react in the way they would have done before he got Twitter X and say, look, we can see where this is going. This is a stepping stone to microchip people. They are prevaricating in a way they wouldn't have before. And that, of course, is the very reason that the deep state that owned Twitter handed it to him. Because now he's this hero. It means that you've got this cognitive dissonance where he's doing all these things that are pushing on the cult agenda, but because he's apparently a free speech guy with Twitter X, then a lot of the things they would have called out and would have been obvious to them, they're not, because, he's Twitter, he's one of us.